haven't recorded many videos about senior fitness, but I thought it was worth recording a video today about a lot of the things that the fitness industry gets wrong, or people in general don't quite get right about their thought process for how we should exercise when we get into those senior ages, or if we have somebody in our life that may be a senior and we're trying to maybe help them out on the health and longevity front. Now, when we get older, or as people get older, they get to that senior age, one of the pieces of advice they often give is to maybe take it easy, relax a little bit, do light things like just, walk or yoga. But, weightlifting, that might be a little bit dangerous. And that is not quite correct. Now, walking, yoga, those sorts of things, they're fantastic and they certainly have benefits. But one of the big risk factors as we age is something called sarcopenia. And sarcopenia is simply the loss of muscle mass. And now that starts when we're about age 30 and then really accelerates when we hit 60. And if we're not careful, we can lose 30 to 50% of our muscle mass by the time we reach our 70s. And then as we get older, we know that can correlate with a lot of different things. For example, one of the big issues being an increased fall risk. And if any of you have known some older folks in your life that have had a fall, you know how devastating that is and how it can have some really, really dark consequences. And one of the best ways to mitigate that is to try to slow down sarcopenia, slow down that muscle loss as best we can. And so when we get older, one of the things we need to do is keep up with weight training, or hopefully start it as we get into middle-aged, so that then we can lay the foundation for what happens when we get older. Now, if you have somebody in your life that you're worried about, but maybe they don't have any training or weightlifting experience, that's okay. There is a lot of research and examples of adults in their 60s, 70s, even 80s or 90s, some studies even from nursing homes, that show incredible improvements when seniors start weightlifting programs at those ages. And the benefits aren't just for sarcopenia and to mitigate that muscle loss, although that obviously is extremely important. It also helps prevent or slow down osteoporosis, our bones getting brittle and breaking down, which of course can increase fracture risks and all sorts of things that we've probably heard about. And the only way to prevent or mitigate osteoporosis is with weightlifting, because bones need pressure to be able to be stimulated to become more dense and stronger. That's the same reason why astronauts, when they go into space and they don't have that gravity, their bones get a little brittle, because they don't have gravity pressing down on them. And when we weightlift, we actually increase that force coming down to stimulate that bone growth. So that is one of the benefits for seniors, as well as, of course, being stronger and, most importantly, being able to demonstrate that strength quickly. Because if we are at a risk of falling and losing our balance, well, if we can get that leg out in front of us to catch ourselves very quickly, that is obviously going to stop that fall. Of course, there's functional improvements, being able to carry more things, put things in overhead cabinets, what have you. Now, there's a lot of belief, again, as I mentioned earlier, that we need to treat older folks like glass, like they're gonna break. And totally get it. We want to start off small, very slow, easy types of workouts when it comes to resistance training, maybe body weight, those sorts of things, and then slowly progress from there, one small step at a time. But it's no different than what we'd recommend for anybody else. Of course, taking other factors into play, such as past medical history, and we might not progress as fast, but we still want to make sure we can get in maybe 2 to 3 sessions a week. Yeah, they might not be 90-minute sessions or anything like that, but even if it's just 20, 30 minutes of stuff where we can do that 2 to 3 times a week, and one week see if we can lift a little bit more than the next week, and most importantly, just really chase consistency. And over time, we will see a lot of these improvements, like have been proven over and over again with countless seniors that have seen these benefits. So if you're somebody who has somebody in your life that you're maybe a little worried about, and you want to decrease fall risk or help them avoid any of the risk factors that come with muscle loss, or fractures from osteoporosis, or any things like that, or just want them to be a little bit more functional in their day-to-day life, contact us. We would love to be able to help you with some of our adult or senior training services.